Logical explanation is often the right one. So he's just cooling off and he doesn't want to speak to you.
It was Liam's birthday and he didn't call him. Right, it's fine if you don't want to talk to me, but he would never do that to Liam.
Right, okay. I'll fill out a missing persons report.
My husband's just disappeared, but hey, don't strain yourself, will you?
Excuse me?
Well, look at you. You go on like you're Weatherfield's top cop, but...
I'm very good at my job, thank you.
The talk of the street.
Talk of the street.
The talk of the street.
Talk of the street.
The talk of the street.
Talk of the street.
The talk of the street.
Talk of the street.
Hello and welcome to episode 364 of The Talk of the Street, an unofficial Coronation Street catch-up podcast that took a week off, and I wouldn't mind taking another week off. I'm Gavin.
And I just have a week off.
Very good. Start as we mean to go on with week off jokes. It's all downhill from here.
Gentle listeners.
How are you?
I still kind of feel like I'm in vacation mode.
Oh, really? I don't.
Like my brain, like my body is physically here and I'm doing the work, but my brain hasn't quite switched back yet. And then I just had an awful day today.
Oh, no.
I was late to work because our on-ramp to the interstate has been closed for a while.
Oh, you went the wrong way.
And so I went the back way to 127, got onto 127, and missed the exit for 96 North. So I had to get back on 96 South and turn around on Cedar, or not quite to Cedar, but on the Cedar exit and get to work. So I was like 15 minutes late. I was so mad at myself.
You were a little late leaving the house.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have been that late.
Because I thought you'd already gone.
Well, I had, and then I remembered I needed something in the house, so I had to come back real quick. Did you know the street that we take to go to the movies? Apparently that's blocked as well.
Mm-hmm. This isn't all going to be about streets and interstates round about the Lansing area.
No.
We will talk about Coronation Street.
Yes.
Fairly quickly.
Eventually. Yeah. And it's funny because yesterday was awesome. Because yesterday I went to a house straight out of a Grimm's fairy tale.
Oh.
And what did I see hanging on the wall?
A wolf?
A signed Joan Miro lithograph.
I still don't know who that is.
And then I went up.
Or what that is.
You don't know what a lithograph
I don't
is?
think so.
Lithograph is when they carve an artist's work into limestone or a plate of steel and dip it in ink or paint or whatever and press it, and then oftentimes they will hand color.
Yeah, I think I did know what that is.
Yes. And then I went upstairs in this house and there was a Marc Chagall in the bedroom.
Marc Chagall was in the bedroom?
Marc Chagall was in the bedroom.
He's been dead for some time.
I believe so. It was a serigraph of one of his works. And so it was a great house. I'm quite excited. I think I may actually go to this estate sale, but I was there to pull books, which I did, and snuck the signed Salvador Dali back to put in the auction before the estate sale. I left the Miro and the Chagall. They're not going to sell. They're going to come back to me eventually. But I think this is the first time I've ever seen something signed by either one of those artists anywhere but a museum. I've never seen one in someone's house before. Isn't that crazy?
Sure.
He worked for Mental Services, the guy who used to live there.
Oh, Marc Chagall, as well as being an artist. Busy
No.
boy. He is dead. He died in 1985.
Okay, so he has been dead for quite some time.
Quite some time.
But within my lifetime. I'm pretty sure Joan Miro is also dead. Anyway, how was your week? Well, I look up when Joan Miro died.
I was very busy at work. I was so busy at work that unfortunately for Soap Week, which by all accounts seems to have been an outrageous success.
Yeah.
It was trending on Twitter for a while, which was very pleasing to see. I put together my cryptic crossword.
Uh-huh.
But we never got round to
We never
getting
got
our
round to our-
jigsaw and doing our jigsaw on
Well-
YouTube because I just
Well, we
been
were at
so busy.
While we were on vacation, I kept saying, let's do this one. And he'd be like, no,
I wanted a boat
let's do this
for
one.
Peter's boat.
I was like, look, it's one of Queen Elizabeth. We should do this one. And
No.
you're like, no.
Hard no. I want a boat. I want Peter's boat. And we never saw any boats, which is ridiculous since we're on the ocean.
I think there were some puzzles with boats, but they were like 1,000 pieces, and we weren't going to
We
do
wanted a
1,000
500
pieces.
piece.
We wanted a
It was
500.
going to take a few hours to do.
Yes. And then we're going to talk about, our relationship to soaps.
And bicker with each other as we try and do this jigsaw puzzle.
Right, but in a sexy way.
Sure.
By the way,
So that didn't happen. So I did my crossword.
right.
And I was worried that the crossword was going to be
Too easy.
just far, far too easy. And the feedback that I got immediately from the crossword, which has been done hundreds of times, which I'm really pleased to see.
Yes.
I get to see some of the stats of it. But when I announced the crossword puzzle and launched it, I got some feedback on Twitter. Feedback like from Chatterbox, who said, yeah, good luck to regular crossword solvers because I don't think the New York Times could create anything this difficult. Thank
Well
you,
done.
Chatterbox.
Well done. Good
Or
job.
Margot, who said, went into this so confident, this is so hard. Ha ha ha. Pickles' account for Bobby Hayton said, went in thinking, ooh, a crossword, easy. Left within seconds, because what is this? Amy said, haven't felt this thick since I sat with GCSEs in 2005. Cheers, Gav. This was my first crossword. Turns out it was a little on the tricky side. But we do have completed entries. So someone is going to win a $25 Amazon gift card.
Wow. Joan Miro died in 1983. He was born in 1893.
It's a he. So well done to the Conversation Street podcast for pulling the soap week together. It's been an awful lot of fun. I think everyone's enjoyed it. All right, we've got fucking tons to get through. Well, we don't really, because it's just 4 episodes.
He was Spanish.
Mark Chagall?
Joan Miro.
It's a man?
Yes.
We've only got 4 episodes to get through, but I think we should just jolly well get on with it. So shall we preamble, my dear?
Yes, please.
Give us some of that cryptic. Did I do that one already? Corrie news. Nope, that's the wrong button. Up is down and down is up,
And Joan Miro is a man.
says you.
Or was. Farrell Hegarty, who everyone should follow on Instagram.
She's a hoot.
She is a hoot. Has flown off to Australia and is sad that her time on Corrie is coming to an end, as she's already filmed her final scenes. She said, bon voyage. I'm going to Australia.
I'm in two minds about this.
Yeah.
Because her character is horrendous,
Yes.
but she's really good at it.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
so do I want her to stay on to annoy me? Probably. Because that character does keep on reminding me of Art the Clown. But she's really good at portraying
Farrell,
that character.
if you're listening, I have a great idea for you for Halloween on Instagram.
It's a lipstick, I think. But yeah, one that I think Coronation Street will look back on in the future and think, how did we let that go?
Yeah.
Or one that hopefully they will bring back at some point.
And don't get me wrong. I'm done with Mick and Brody.
Seriously.
They can go. But I would like to keep Lou, please.
Right.
But I guess we just don't. They don't consult us
They
when they
don't.
make these decisions, which is really sad.
Which they prove every single fucking week.
One leaves, one returns. Lucy Fallon has returned to filming on the street after her maternity leave has ended. She's going to kiss wee Nancy Margaret on the top of her wee head
She's going to put on the chunky jewellery
and come back to Corrie.
and that red and black jumper.
Nancy Margaret, that's a nice name for her baby.
It's a name that harkens back to yesteryear.
Yes.
Or your.
I had not Margaret. She was lovely.
My best friend at high school's mum was called Nancy.
And one of my best friends' daughter's name is Nancy.
All of this is relevant.
All of it is relevant, yes. And finally, Mikey North has revealed that before he got the role of Gary Windass on the show, he auditioned to be
Tinker.
Chesney's half-brother, Billy Brown.
Billy Brown.
He did not get the part of Billy Brown.
No.
He was apparently a little too young for the role at the time. But gingers, what are they like?
Stick together.
They do stick together. There's like
It's because her hair is so coarse.
It's
like
so-
it's like Velcro.
it's like it's full of iron oxide, so it's magnetic.
Ferrous, very ferrous.
They stick together. I just thought after this week, this is the most hilarious bit of news we could possibly end on.
It's perfect.
That Mikey North was almost a brown. Not a winter brown,
No,
but a brown.
very good.
A ginger brown. And that's Corrie News.
That's Corrie News. Entertaining, Helen.
Yeah.
And that leads us ever so seamlessly into our feedback section that I like to call Everyone's a Critic. No, that's the wrong one again!
What are you doing?
I swear I'm not doing this deliberately. There we go. Sharon writes, "Hi, Dawn and Ivy.
I'm Dawn. You're Ivy.
I will take Ivy. You have no idea what you've just agreed to.
And I don't care.
I've been listening to you for a couple of years, but only just realised that it's Deirdre and Gary saying the talk of the street at the start of the podcast. Yep,
Yep.
there you go.
That is Deirdre and Gary.
What's going on with Gary and Lou? Felt sorry for poor little hamster Liam on his birthday. No presents to put in his cheeks and certainly not another beer. He's 16. They've got him drinking beer.
Apparently
I think it's legal to drink beer with your
parents in a public place.
Yeah. And little Jake looks like a mini Gary now. I agree with yawning Helen that Carla is not good looking. Now, why on earth did Kevin give him a job in the garage in the first place? When, if you remember, he knew nothing about cars when he and Abby met in the car park that time.
Yeah. Or was he pretending not to know anything about cars because he was trying to flirt with a woman?
Yeah,
That
maybe.
actually doesn't work, does it? I don't know.
Theo No Sleeves is going to be an abuser towards Todd, I reckon. He's going to become
hope not.
very jealous and controlling. Quite like Todd's sexy calf tattoo. He's got sexy calf tattoos. Both of his calves were tattooed.
Are they?
Yeah. Why don't they just go upstairs and get their hole when George came home instead of sitting there watching them eat his chips?
And snore.
Anyhow, all the best. Keep on with my favourite podcast. Still
Aw.
British, still not racist, from Sharon. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sharon.
And Gary writes, did I hear Gav quoting Slayer lyrics in the last episode? Yes, you did, Gary. I had to think about that for a second.
It's like,
But-
wait a second. Did I accidentally quote Slayer?
I said chaos rampant in an age of distrust. Confrontation, impulsive habitat. On and on south of heaven. By Slayer. Well spotted.
Well spotted indeed.
A little scared by that. Seal My Fridge writes, no talk of the street this week. How on earth can I begin my working week now? I shall expect 2 episodes next week at the very least.
Yeah, sorry.
Signed the artist formerly known as Seal My Fridge. Now known as What About Seal My Fridge? Thank you very much, Seal My Fridge. I have a sneaking suspicion I know who Seal My Fridge might be.
Really?
Yeah, we'll talk offline.
Okay.
And finally, Cheeky writes, hello, Maria and Gary. I'm going to keep my thoughts this week really brief. Lou and Kevin and Abby and Carl and Summer can fuck all the way off. I would be happy to see none of these characters ever again and just get more screen time with Debbie, and Dee Dee is very lucky that she's not on that list as well for the whole christening fiasco. Yeah, the christening stuff irked me.
It irked me as well.
But thank you to Cheeky, to Seal My Fridge, Gary, and Shan for the feedback. Feedback's always welcome. Send us your thoughts and I'll probably read them out. Get us at thetalkofthestreet@gmail.com, or our DMs are open at Corrie Podcast. Or we love it when people write actual letters to us. Send us your proper mail to the Talk of the Street, PO Box 12, Eaton Rapids, Michigan 48827. Please note that we reserve the right to edit feedback, but only in the interests of brevity. And now we'll podcast for coffee, which is this button.
It is that button. It is that button.
And after all that and pressing that button 3 times,
For nothing.
we're drinking
We're
our own
drinking our
coffees
own
this
coffees
week.
this week.
Oh,
Ooh.
chilled ginger ale. It is hotter than a motherfucker in this room.
Yes, I've already finished my pink grapefruit juice. I kind of wishing I'd gotten more.
Should have brought the whole
Should
jug.
have brought the whole jug. Yeah, should have.
The Talk of the Street is and will always be free on your podcast provider and on the YouTubes, but if you think a show is worth anything more than the time it takes to listen to it, and if you want to show your appreciation, you can buy us next week's coffee by going to ko-fi.com, that's ko-fi.com/the Talk of the Street. You can also sign up to be a friend of the podcast through the same link where for as little as $2 a month you can get a mention in the closing credits of each and every episode. And if Ko-Fi isn't your thing, we also have a Patreon site where you can show us some love. Sign up as a friend of the podcast there at patreon.com/the Talk of the Street. Remember, you can always support the podcast for free. Get us in front of new listeners by liking, subscribing, rating and reviewing wherever you get your podcasts. All right. So last week there was 2 episodes when we were sunning ourselves in lovely Maine.
Yes.
And then we had 2 episodes this week. So the show's been kind to us. We could have,
been.
6 episodes to
Yeah.
review. We only have 4.
Yeah, but of course, if that had happened, we would have just summarized last week and just talked really about this week.
I'm summarising last week anyway.
Really? Because it's only 2 episodes?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great. Now I have to remember what happened last week and what happened this week.
You watched all episodes tonight.
That's correct.
All right, our first storyline this week is Theo No Sleeves, and this is all from last week, so the first 2 episodes that we're talking about. Last week, Millie reveals that Danielle has been booking a family holiday in August and is gutted when Theo says he won't be going because he's gay. Millie still doesn't get it.
And broke up with her mom. They're not together anymore. They're never going to be together again.
I mean, Millie,
Babe,
you know.
come on.
Then Todd wonders how pregnant she's going to be on that holiday and if her bump will be shown, and she's like, oh, fuck, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, whatever happened to that bump she ordered a month ago? What happened to that? Did that just get lost in the mail?
Well, we were speculating about where they were going to send it, whether it was going to be, as we suspected, to Todd's house.
Right, yes. And
But-
how she was going to subtly just all of a sudden like run upstairs and then run back downstairs with a baby bump.
If Todd suddenly has a bit of a beer belly, we know that he's been intercepting our mail, I guess. So, Todd offers her a way out by suggesting that she takes another pregnancy test, because remember, she never made her appointment at the hospital.
Nope.
Do they know that she's even taken a pregnancy test? I don't think they do. So
Yeah, she said she did, but there's no proof that
There's
she
no proof.
actually did.
let's get you to take another one. And then if the first one was false positive, then, well, no harm, no foul.
Right, exactly. Because apparently he threw away the other one that she didn't use. Why would you throw that away instead of saying, hey, I still have this pregnancy test I bought for you? Here. Why don't you...
Maybe he just felt funny holding on to a pregnancy test.
You could always say it's Mary's. Mary still lives there. You never see her in that house, but she still lives there.
Not pregnant, though.
I'm really confused.
Maybe she just takes pregnancy tests for fun.
And maybe
I haven't peed in a stick in a while.
maybe God will provide a miracle. Her name is Mary, after all.
Let's not bring Joseph into this. Privately, Todd tells Millie that he knows she's, and definitely not pregnant. Again, she begs him not to say anything to Theo, and again, he stupidly agrees. But later, Millie tells Theo that Todd convinced her to have an abortion, and Theo seems to fall for it and takes Millie back to her mum's.
What? How on earth would you believe that about your partner? That your partner behind your back took your daughter to have an abortion?
Never mind your partner, a stranger on the street. How would you believe that someone that you didn't know took your daughter with minutes of notice to get an abortion on the quiet?
And they're already back. And she's already fine to like be walking around and stuff. Because I mean, they don't give you they don't put you to sleep. It's like Twilight, the stuff that they gave me for my liver biopsy. They don't put you completely under.
I thought you were going to make a far larger revelation live on this podcast. But
Yeah, it's the most ridiculous lie she's told this whole time. "Oh, your new boyfriend took me to get an abortion, and I'm so sad about it because I have no agency at all." You know what surprised me about this though is the reason why Todd wasn't there when she told him about this is because he was at Billy's, so Billy could fill him in, but not like that, about Summer. But we never get to see Todd react to Summer being on a hallucinogenic. He seems fine when he walks back in and says, "Oh, hey, I was over at Billy's to talk about Summer."
Yeah.
And nothing, like it was fine. And he's not angry or upset or needing to talk about the fact. What I did like though, is when, Todd and Millie were in
Nina's rolls, and Summer came in and he was like, "Oh, hey, Summer." And she kind of ducked away because she didn't want to tell him about the drugs. Millie says, "Who is that?" And Todd says, "That's my daughter." Yes.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. So fuck off, Theo, with the, "Oh, you don't know what it's like to raise a child" bullshit. Todd has claimed Summer as his own daughter.
To be fair, Todd's done very little in the raising of Summer. But in that scene, Todd says, "Hey, Summer, what's going on?" And Summer says, "Oh, sorry, Todd, I've got an appointment and I'll need to rush, but we'll catch up later." And Millie's, interpretation of that was, "Well, Summer doesn't like you very much."
Yeah.
There was nothing wrong with the way that Summer responded to Todd.
I mean, she rushed a little bit because she canceled her order or something for her bagel.
She's allowed to be busy.
Right. Yeah. She's like, "Never mind, Nina. I won't take that bagel because I don't really want to talk to Todd right now." But Millie didn't hear that part of the conversation.
Fucking Millie, man.
Fucking Millie.
But then it turns out...
Summer is Todd's daughter.
But then it turns out that Theo knew Millie was lying all along anyway.
Yeah.
What? Well, not all along, but...
Let's remember. He's thick.
Theo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's thick.
But even he knew that Millie was lying.
And I mean, he's not just thick. He's also thick.
He was pretty thick.
Yeah. Not as much as Ronnie, but you can't duplicate perfection.
I think his arms rival Ronnie's, to be honest. Todd needs to run and keep on running away from this pair of wackos. He goes to the pub where he's joined by James, and back at Todd's place, James comes on to Todd, tries to kiss him. Theo walks in on it. Later, Theo grabs...
He walks in on them hugging afterwards, not on the kiss part.
Later, Theo grabs James and tells him to stay the fuck away from Todd or he'll be shitting teeth for a week. Next day, Theo replaces James...
I kind of feel like James could handle himself in that fight.
As Todd's personal gay trainer. Todd explains the circumstances of this to George, who still stays at Eileen's for some reason.
Right, yes, why?
Later, George falls asleep in a diabetic coma after eating fish and chips, which pisses all over Theo and Todd's hopes of getting their hole.
Go upstairs, boys.
So Theo suggests that he and Todd get their own place. Todd is chuffed, but maybe a little unsure.
Right, because doesn't he technically own that house now? Isn't that basically his? Or is it still Eileen's?
Still Eileen's.
But she's gone. So, and she's never going to live there again. So would she pass ownership on to Todd, or...
I think Todd would need to buy it. We're just going to give your son a house.
Why not?
It's a house.
Yeah, but you're not going to use it anymore.
Well, not that you know of. You might use it in the future. You might come back.
I suppose. Is she going to be paying rent or mortgage or taxes on that thing this whole time, though?
That thing's been paid off for years.
You still have to pay taxes on it.
What taxes are you talking about?
Like residential taxes. Are you telling me that British people not only get free health care, they also don't have to pay taxes on their houses? Is that what you're telling me?
There's council tax, but it's not really... That's something that Todd can take care of.
Why don't we live in Scotland again?
It's becoming increasingly difficult to justify. That's the end of that storyline this week. I'm glad that the Millie stuff's finally come out in the open, but it's a very frustrating story. It
really is. Because it's just weird that someone Millie's age, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again. It's weird that someone Millie's age has such a difficult time grasping the idea of homosexuality.
I don't disagree with that.
It feels weird. I understand. I can kind of understand not wanting your parents to break up.
Yeah.
I get it. But to say to your dad, no, you can't be gay. You have to be straight again. And not understanding that he was gay the whole time.
You need to come on holiday with us to Tenerife or wherever it was.
Right, yeah.
No, because why? Because what?
So that you and Mum can get back together. Oh, did your mother grow a penis while I wasn't looking?
Now, there's a storyline I think we can all get behind. Wait a minute, Danielle's got a penis now? Shock.
Ah.
As Corrie legend Danielle grows penis, shocker.
It's been far too long since we've had a trans character on the show. I'm just going to say
It has been a very long time.
very long.
But I don't think I'm saying that Danielle's trans. I think that Danielle's just grown a penis.
Yeah. Just for fun. Either that or she has a strap on that she just wears all the time now.
I think we all know that she does that. Yeah, because I started off really liking Theo and Todd, and it's becoming harder and harder
Yeah.
to maintain that position.
Yeah. They are very cute together
Todd's coming across super desperate, though.
most of the time. But yeah, I think I would prefer Todd and James. I'm just so happy when
James
they're hanging out.
is so dull. He's just so boring. He's as boring with this head as he was with the first head.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think he's that boring.
Oh, come on.
It's kind of cute with him and Todd kind of flirting and stuff. I like that.
I thought that was oddly sensual.
It really was.
When
I
you're
enjoyed
doing
it.
a little stretchy
Doing the
things.
little
and-
stretchy things. And, okay. All right.
Yeah, see if you're doing Coronation Street.
Is there a revelation you need to be telling me, Brim?
Hey, you can see something that's sensual and recognise it as such.
It's true. It's very true.
I'm a very progressive man. Just don't ask me any questions about it. I'm very open-minded,
You tend to be pretty open-minded.
except for things where I'm not open-minded. And in those situations, I'm incredibly close-minded.
Yeah. I feel like you've become more open-minded the longer you live here, which is weird because of the puritanical society that
Pushing
America
back
is.
against it.
Yeah.
Rage against the machine.
Right. There was not as much to rage against in Scotland, unless, you left Scotland and went down to England and then you rage. In London. London!
Let's move on to our next storyline, which is Sucks to be a Webster. Oh, some juicy stuff going on in this storyline.
Yeah, thanks. I hate it.
Last week, Kev is snooping on Abby's phone and finds flirty messages between her and Carl.
Well, this is the thing. Like, the wee boy was playing on Abby's phone, some, game. And
He was doing Wordle or whatever.
right, well, it looked more like the fruit one. Kind of looked
Fruit
like...
Ninja.
No, not Fruit Ninja, the other one. Anyway.
Fruit Samurai.
Anyway, it was just like a dumb game, and Kev is like, oh, it's not working. I'll sort it out, and then he just kind of pushed buttons
And broke it. Well done, Kev.
and
you
then
asshole.
and then somehow closed the game and got onto
Our messages.
his messages, because it's not like that message was just sent and he would have seen it pop up on the top of the screen.
That game didn't have a button that said exit to text messages.
No.
He deliberately had a little look, I think.
Yeah, which is weird.
So he finds a flirty message between Abby and Carl, and
Aadi didn't send any flirty messages. It was just Carl's "How do I get to know you better" thing.
But Abby sees that Kev sees this, and Kev rushes off out the house. And rather than tell Kev what's been happening, she instead fakes a mechanical issue with a car at the garage and blames Carl for it. But Kev sees her do it on the CCTV because she forgot it was there.
Yeah, and yet doesn't bother to go further back and see where Carl was giving away.
Fake MOTs.
Right.
And he jumps to the conclusion and accuses her of having an affair with his brother. She says that she doesn't appreciate his banter and just wanted him gone. She has a chance to throw Carl under the bus, but doesn't take it. And arguably, she should have.
Yes.
Kev falls for it, tells Carl to quit with the banter and the text, but privately, Abby's upset about lying, and Carl comforts her, which is seen from across the street by Kev. So next day, Kev's off to get results from the hospital, and no one goes with him. But he meets Ronnie, who reveals that he's put an offer in on number 6. Meanwhile, Abby accuses Carl of wanting Kev to die so that the two of them can be together, and Carl threatens to get his whole off of Tracy if Abby's not wanting him. Fill your boots,
fine,
she says.
Go ahead.
But then she admits that she doesn't really love Kev anymore because Carl rubbed noses with her. She decides that if he gets good news, Kev that is,
Or also because throughout their entire marriage, he has been
dreadful.
emotionally and verbally abusive to her.
Yes.
Over and over and over again.
So she decides that if Kev gets good news from the hospital, she's going to tell Kev that she doesn't want to live with him anymore, but she's not going to take up with Carol.
No, she just wants a break. We're on a break!
Oh, one of those.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Kev's got his results, but he's unreadable as he leaves the hospital. Later in the pub, Kev is nursing a pint when he's joined by Debbie. He tells her that he's worried about the distance that's growing between him and Abby. Debbie tells him that it's in his head, but then tells him all about the trust that she has with Ronnie. And this obviously makes Kev think about what he has with Abby. So when he gets home, he tells Abby that his cancer hasn't spread, but it hasn't responded to the treatment. But he only says this when he guesses that Abby is about to say that she's going to leave him. In speed dial later, Kev runs into Dr. Gadas, who's thrilled to have learned that Kev's cancer is gone.
Woohoo!
Kev asks her to keep it under her hat, as he's still to tell his family, and she obviously agrees because
She's a decent human. Yeah,
confidentiality.
she's a decent human being.
So Kev has told Abby that his cancer hasn't gone. It hasn't got any bigger, hasn't got any worse, but hasn't responded to treatment. I think if it's the same size, it must have sort of responded to treatment, because otherwise it would have got bigger. But anyway, this is a lie.
Yes.
He's cancer free.
Yes.
He's lying about having cancer.
Yes.
Is this unforgivable?
Kind of.
This feels unforgivable.
It does.
Unless he's super good at keeping this secret.
Right. You know what's going to happen? It's going to come out that he was lying.
Well, of course.
And then he's going to go to the doctors and he's going to find out that it's back.
I don't know if I'm laughing at that.
Because it's
So on Thursday,
funny.
Kev and Abby are having breakfast. Abby impressed at how well Kev's dealing with his bad news. Me and you against the world, says Kev, and he's sure he'll be in the clear before long. In comes Carl. And while Kev tells Carl that he's got the all clear, Abby snaps that the cancer hasn't gone away, and she drags Kev away. Back home, Carl comes in to check on Kev, but he's fucking furious with Carl. Tells him to fuck off back to Germany, doesn't know why he's here, calls him a nobody in his life. And they're about to come to blows when Abby comes in and intervenes. And Carl, at this point, seems very hurt by all of this and says that he's there for his brother. Mm-hmm. That's why he's there, which is a lie.
It is a lie, yes.
But he's believable in it.
Mm.
I feel like the Carl part of all this is getting lost in all the other storylines that are going on for the Websters of why he's in Weatherfield. He seems to owe money in Germany. We know that much. His business is failing, apparently.
Right.
He's desperate to get money. But he's been desperate to get money for weeks and maybe since he's been in
Right.
the show.
And he has a job now, which I'm assuming he gets paid for.
Right? So this mystery of why he's there is just, it feels like it's been allowed to just drift away, that it's not important. But it feels important when they put words into his mouth like he's there for Kev. Because maybe they think that he is there for Kev. That they've forgotten the whole owes money in Germany thing. I don't know, just none of this is satisfying.
No, because he did say when he came back that, you know, when he found out that Kev had cancer, that's when he booked the plane ticket to come back. Does everybody know he owes money in?
Nobody knows that.
Nobody knows. So since nobody knows that, then yeah, they're going to believe that he came back because Kev has cancer.
I think Debbie knows some of it because he was trying to hit Debbie up for the money. but I don't think she knows the extent of it.
Right.
So anyway, Carol's confused at Kev's aggression, but finally agrees to leave. And later, Aadi goes to see Carl at the garage, says that she needs to stay with Kev, and she's happy with that.
Are you, Abby? Are you really?
So on Friday, Jack's back.
And they have completely forgotten at this point that one of those legs is supposed to be fake. When you watch this kid kick a soccer ball, you're like, yeah, the show has forgotten that one of those is supposed to be artificial.
Tyrone's back as well. Jack...
Yes, wearing a Tribeca t-shirt.
Yeah, he's one of his favourites. Jack, with one leg, is taking penalties into Kev at the garage, and Kev nearly does himself a mischief, and a passing Aadi insists that Jack should have known better and Kev needs to tell everyone the truth. So back home, Debbie and Tyrone learn that Kev doesn't have the all clear, except he really does. Kev's got his first fictitious bout of chemo today and insists on going on his own. But stupid Kev instead goes to the precinct to eat a sandwich, and he's discovered by a passing Tyrone who secretly sees him
Yeah.
and gives him a call.
Jump on the train, Kev. Go a little bit further afield. You've earned it.
Or just go to the hospital.
Yeah.
And just sit in a waiting room
sit
at the
in the
hospital.
cafeteria. Eat your sandwich there.
Nobody's going to stop you.
No. Oh,
But
dear.
no, he goes to the precinct where he's lucky he doesn't get stabbed to have a sandwich. What an idiot. This is where it all falls to pieces. This whole thing, this whole lie relies on being able to maintain the ruse that you're having to go to the hospital to get your chemo and stuff. At no point going to the precinct to eat a sandwich is a good idea to maintain that ruse.
Correct.
Unless your ruse is, I'm addicted to sandwiches. If that's your ruse, you're doing a great job.
Meh.
So Tyrone tries to phone Kev. Kev dingies the call, and Tyrone's suspicious about this. And back at the garage, am I saying garage now?
You are saying garage.
Wow. When did that start happening?
I don't remember.
Back at the garage, Tyrone
That
confronts
sounds
him.
weird now. Just say garage.
No. Tyrone confronts him with this. But he thinks that Kev skipped his appointment and he wants to tell Aadi, so Kev has to come clean and tells Tyrone that he's faking having cancer to stop Aadi getting her hole off of his brother.
Well, and it's not even that. He's faking the cancer so that she doesn't leave him. That's it. And he's like, if I tell the truth now, she's definitely going to leave me.
That's true.
That is true.
Tyrone is disgusted and thinks Aadi loves Kev and thinks it's just a matter of time before he gets caught. I agree with that as well.
Absolutely.
Apart from the Aadi loves Kev bit. Kev thinks he just needs a few more months to win her back. Tyrone begs him to tell the truth. And Kev is ready to do that, but then Aadi comes in all excited because she's booked him a getaway to the country, so Kev changes his mind and keeps stum. And later in the pub he tells Tyrone because it seems that his plan is working, but he promises to tell Aadi the truth after their hollybobs.
I promised to tell her the truth.
Or was it just
Aadi!
tell her that I'm cancer-free, maybe?
Abby, Tyrone took me to get an abortion. Tyrone.
Do you know, I don't think that the NHS gave abortions to men in their 60s.
You'd be surprised.
Woke. That's as far as we get with that. I don't know what that means. That's as far as we get with that this week.
Yes.
So much going on.
It's so stupid.
So stupid.
So stupid. So we have two characters in this show lying about a medical condition on this show that has, you know, doctors and hospital. You know what? If Aadi was still in the show, none of this would have ever happened. This and the Gary stuff would have never happened because Aadi would have been there. Aadi would have said, oh no, he's cancer free.
Yeah, she'll just blab.
Aadi would have said, that child never came in for a pregnancy test. And Aadi would have said, hey, Gary's in a coma.
What's Gary doing here?
This man's name isn't Chesney. Bring Aggie back.
I need to save this because there's so much to complain about that once we get to that bit. But, do you know, the longer this goes on, just the more and more convinced I become that Kev and Abby are going to split up, and it's for the best.
It's okay with me.
Yeah.
They should have never been together in the first place. And the way Abby says he's the best, it still says shit like he's the best thing that ever happened to me. No one has ever loved me the way Kev loves me. It just makes me really sad.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you've got to think, well, she must have been in some really, really, really horrible relationships.
Yeah. Really, your years-long marriage with Kev was better than your one-night stand with Imran?
Yeah, I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that at all. Hi, Charlie.
The one good thing about this is the Debbie aspect of just having Debbie being fabulous.
Right.
And now that the whole Ronnie and her thing is back on and people know about her dementia, and I love the way that she says dementia in another storyline.
Yes.
Because she kind of thinks like dementia.
Yeah.
Like your mum telling you about a gossip, but she doesn't want to say the key word. Oh, that's that Carol down the street. She's going, and that's how my mum would break news like that to me. So Debbie doing that is very reminiscent. The way that she just kind of mumbles. But yeah, that's the one thing that this has still got going for it. Because this is just a relationship that's in its final throes.
Yeah.
And Kev trying to keep it going it's not a great look.
Yeah. Especially doing it in an arguably abusive way.
Oh, arguably?
Definitely.
It's got to be abusive to pretend that you've got a life-threatening
illness just to keep your partner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, that's got Jerry Springer written all over it, doesn't it?
Yes.
All right, we'll move on to... The hits just keep on coming, Helen. Sister, can you spare a baby? Last week, Dee Dee's still hell-bent on getting this kid of hers christened, but James is still fuck no to that shit.
And it's not hers anymore.
And he accuses her of blurring the lines of their agreement. Dee Dee is worried that Layla will get her moral guidance from him.
Which is fine.
So she ropes Billy into performing a secret christening. Next day, James doesn't want to be a nanny to Layla and asks Dee Dee to back off with the mothering. And later, Dee Dee invites Alia to the christening, but Alia quickly susses out that James doesn't know the first thing about it. Dee Dee looks to the side as she sucks her drink through a straw. This is something that Dee Dee does when she's lying.
Yes.
It's her tell, and it's so obvious.
Yeah.
She uncomfortably drinks while she looks to the side.
Yeah.
She does it quite a bit.
It's hilarious.
Alia doesn't approve of the lie, but agrees not to tell James. Billy tells Dee Dee about a cancellation. Who cancels a christening? And so Dee Dee asks to spend the day tomorrow with Layla so she can secretly get her christened.
For sale.
And James agrees.
Baby shoes. Never worn.
Oh, jeez. Ernest Hemingway, you know how to get to my heart. On Thursday, dull James hands Layla over to Dee Dee with a box of nappies to get her through a day's worth of shitting, and for Layla too. James offers to go with her, but Dee Dee wants a girl's day with this baby and tells James to stay the fuck away. Post-christening, Billy, Dee Dee, Adam's back.
Adam!
And Alia go to the bistro. Adam thinks it's a wee shame that James couldn't make it, and Dee Dee does that weird thing she does when she's drinking and looking to the side. He's too busy. But Adam texts James anyway, and a furious but dull James storms in, calls Dee Dee a liar who selfishly did what she wanted despite his wishes, and he insists Layla is his daughter, not hers, except, He says Dee Dee's religion isn't important to him or Layla unless Layla wants to become religious when she's old enough.
Yeah, Layla, nothing is of interest to Layla except for food and a clean diaper.
Right.
Those are the only things that she is concerned with currently.
He asks Billy to get an unchristening. But
Yeah, that's not a thing.
Billy refuses. And he tells Dee Dee, James tells Dee Dee to stay out of his fucking way. and he takes Layla home. So at home, Dee Dee apologises for lying, but said she was just doing the right thing. James can't trust her now, has no idea what she might do next behind his back. Ed and Michael are also pissed off at Dee Dee, but just because they didn't get invites to the christening.
Oh, God. When Ed said that, I was like, what the hell is wrong with you, sir?
Dull James needs certainty on his position with Layla and decides to lawyer up. On Friday, Dee Dee's in the pub and is hit on by a creepy guy called Ollie, who I hope we never see again. Ollie insists on buying her a drink after giving her some productivity stats while she's doing lawyer work in the pub.
Right, yes, and invites himself to sit in her booth.
She kind of falls for his awful chat and takes her drink off him and engage in light-hearted, terrible banter, only to be interrupted by dull James, who comes in to angrily tell her about the mediation he has booked for them all. When Dee Dee gets home, Layla is alone in the living room while Ed's nipped off for a shite, so Dee Dee grabs the baby for an illegal cuddle. Post-shite, Ed comes back down the stairs, and he seems to almost remember that he's the one who dreamt up this stupid idea in the first place.
Right.
But the moment passes when Michael and James come in and Dee Dee quickly leaves. It's all too much for Dee Dee, so she packs her bags and fucks off to Glasgow in her mini convertible. So much for that mediation, and that's as far as we get with that this week.
Well, I mean, at least she's going someplace nice.
Yeah,
I like Glasgow.
with the top down.
Yeah. Well, on the car, not on the Dee Dee.
Oh.
It seems really weird how obsessed she is with the christening, because the christening is not going to give her moral guidance in her life, which is the thing that she seems to be really worried about. Mm-hmm. The christening doesn't just magically make her a Christian baby, because babies can't
This
be...
baby is Christian.
This baby is not.
This baby drinks gin. But which one?
Ooh. But, I mean, I guess because I grew up with a form of Christianity where baptism is a choice that you make and not your parents.
Right.
When you're ready and you go to a big giant pond or lake and get dunked.
Isn't that where the born again thing comes from? That you're born again from that moment?
It is a metaphorical, being born again, but Jesus said you must be born again when he was talking to Nicodemus and not when he was getting baptized. So it's part of the whole thing, but they aren't directly related. And John the Baptist was baptizing people before Christianity was a thing. So I'm just assuming that it was something that people of the Jewish faith were doing beforehand, but I don't know. I think I'm slowly getting out of even my league of spouting chapter and verse on this podcast. But it's just...
That's a good bit of self-reflection there, Helen. Well done.
It seems like a weird thing for Dee Dee to get obsessed with, isn't it?
I'm going to suggest that it's covering for what the real issue is.
It's that she feels guilty for giving away her baby.
And maybe that she wishes that she didn't.
Yeah. It's too late, baby. And you don't want to raise that baby. Please, show. Don't give that baby back to Dee Dee.
They're
Please.
absolutely going to give that baby back to Dee Dee.
They better not.
I think that's the way it's going.
I don't want her to take that baby back. Because that is not the answer either. I mean, she was right to say, this is a baby I cannot take care of. Mm-hmm. Because it's traumatic. This baby was conceived out of trauma. And that's when I see her, that's always going to come up. And yet, her family doesn't allow her to give the baby up for adoption to somebody far away where she doesn't have to see this baby every day. No, they think it's better to do the adoption within the family because they hate their sister and daughter.
Yeah, that's it.
No wonder Aggie left.
This is all Ed's fault.
But, it's Ed and James's fault. I don't think it's Michael's fault.
Oh, James laid it on very thick as well with him and
Right.
Danny, who are no longer a thing.
Yeah, they're no longer together. So obviously...
That's how rock solid that relationship was.
Right. Yeah. And he left James after he was in a near fatal car accident. Which is weird.
Yeah, the less said about the circumstances of that, the better, because it's all very flimsy, isn't it?
Right, yeah. Of all the relationships that we don't actually really get to see very often anything of, that seemed like the most rock solid of them. Of relationships we don't actually get to see very much of. Because they were very cute when they were on the show together. Remember when Danny was on the show? Danny was adorable. You thought that those two were going to make it.
It was Danny that helped Ed come over his horrible homophobia, remember?
Yes. Yes. His own son couldn't do it.
His wife couldn't do it.
No.
Danny did it.
Danny did it.
Danny did it?
Danny did it.
Well done, Danny.
Good job, Danny.
But now Danny's shacked up with somebody else.
Yeah. And posting about it on Instagram.
How dare he?
How dare he have a life?
But this is what is at the heart of all this, is that she is being forced to see her baby every day.
Yeah.
Every time she goes round to see her dad,
Right.
she sees the baby.
Yeah. That baby was supposed to be living here in America at this point. Well, I mean, for a while anyway.
Not here, exactly. Delaware, remember? Because they lived in Delaware.
Do you think they just have like a map of America?
They have a map
And
of
darts.
America and darts.
And
Absolutely.
darts.
Yes.
Just, they're going to North Dakota.
Wichita, Kansas. Oh, you get your flight from Wichita to Manchester? Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he was supposed to be in Delaware.
Right.
Living
And
it
that's
up in Delaware.
Really, the only reason why Dee Dee agreed to this is that she wouldn't have to see the baby all the time.
Yep.
James is like, oh, no, you wouldn't see her at all. So you wouldn't be traumatized over and over and over again and reminded of your abusive relationship over and over and over again.
Yeah, the only time you'd hear about her is that when we tell her that her first words were complaining about the traffic on I-95.
Or how good that one Indian restaurant is.
So good.
Remember, where in Delaware was that? I was telling one of my coworkers about it
I'm sure it was in Wilmington.
because she had just gone to Delaware for vacation.
What?
And I said, oh, one of the best Indian restaurants I've ever eaten in my life is in Delaware. Because that was really the only thing I could remember about Delaware was the Indian restaurant.
It was a great Indian restaurant, and Teddy Dog at the time very much enjoyed doing a dump in its parking lot.
He wasn't with us, was
Yeah,
he?
he was, yeah.
Why would we leave him in the car while we go eat in an Indian
Because we're
restaurant?
awful people.
That would have never happened.
It was night and it was winter. It was fine. It was Sangam Indian restaurant in Wilmington, I think.
It was big. And
It
there
was
were
very good.
and
There was a strip mall.
was it? I didn't think it was a
Yeah.
strip mall. I thought it was like its own separate building, which was
No.
one of the cool things about it because it was massive.
That's not how I remember it.
It's massive.
But enough about Indian restaurants and
In Delaware.
that may or may not exist in Delaware. Let's move on to our next storyline, which was Half. Now remember when we last podcasted, I was like, Steve had better start thinking about taking half of Tracy's shit. Well, last week,
Well, obviously they listened to you.
Tim floats the idea of getting half of Preston Petals, and this hadn't crossed Steve's mind.
Well, he says that.
And then they end up thinking about what they would call it, rather than considering it as a totally decent idea. What was it Tim was going to call it? Something about marigolds, wasn't it? Metcalf's marigolds or something like that.
Something like that.
Something like that. And speed dial later, Sally sticks up for Cassie with Tracy, and Steve promises he'll see her in court. He tells Cassie that he's fallen in love with her, but when he sees her reaction, he quickly backtracks at home, worried that he's moving too fast. But it looks like she actually wanted to hear him say that.
Yeah,
It's difficult to tell, and that's all that happened in that.
right. And then afterwards, back at the house, Steve says, oh, I didn't mean it.
That's just what I've finished saying.
I don't remember you saying the part about he didn't
Quickly
mean it.
backtracks, worried that he's
Well,
moving too
he
fast.
didn't quickly backtrack because he said it in the restaurant, and then at home is when he said,
And that's what I said.
yeah, that's not quick. They had to walk home first.
So you're arguing about the adverb choice then?
Yes, I am.
Excellent.
I'm that kind of person. You knew that when you married me.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. We used to edit one another's poetry. You absolutely knew.
See, I remove bits of the story that aren't important to save time.
Right.
And then you disagree with them, say that isn't what happened. And any time saved is then spent analysing the bones of that mistake.
Right. Or I add in something that was important to me that wasn't important to you.
Right.
Yeah. Which
So
is
anyway,
fun.
all that happened.
Anyway.
All that happened.
Right.
And Steve tries to take back what he says. But
Right.
says he likes, still says that she's great and everything.
Right, yeah.
But maybe that he's not fallen in love with her.
We're not there yet. Or it's okay if you're not there yet. You know, I apologize for saying it, sort of thing. I think it's very nice that Tim and Sally agreed to go have dinner with Steve and Cassie in public. I thought that was a very nice gesture on their part.
Yeah, because we keep on forgetting Cassie tried to kill Ken.
Yes. She killed Kenny.
You
bastards.
That happened.
Where is Ken? Did she succeed behind our backs?
I think
'Cause he hasn't been on the
he's-
show in ages.
I think Amy maybe just left him in the Lake District or something. Wasn't it?
Right. They were going to go to the Lake District, and then Amy came back by herself.
Yeah.
What has happened to Ken?
This has got true crime written all over it.
This is going to be like Sweeps Week. This is a Sweeps Week story.
Very accepting of Sally, although Cassie gives her a bit of snash about her
Right, yeah.
dress.
At first.
But Sally's very quick to jump to Cassie's defence when Tracy starts
Yeah.
giving it a bit of that.
Right, yeah. It's
And that was great. Well done, Sally.
yeah. It's like, Tracy, you killed a man. Shut up.
Right. All right, our next storyline is post-party, post-mortem. Last week, Racist Kelly still in hospital, still under the impression that her drink was spiked, even though she picked up a cup that wasn't hers. Somewhat belatedly, she worries about Frankie and worries about having another episode. Meanwhile, Aadi manufactures a truce between Summer and Nina, and then goes to see Racist Kelly, who tells him not to blame himself for what happened, but he does blame himself.
Because
he feels
it's his
guilty.
fault.
So he offers her a loan to tide her and Frankie over. She did pick up a cup that wasn't hers.
Correct, but I think maybe she thought it was hers. Like maybe she had put her cup down somewhere near there or something. Yeah, it is kind of weird that she picked up a cup at a party that wasn't hers.
And then thinks that she got spiked. But you weren't drinking your drink, love.
Right, yes, but they did prove that there was something in that lemonade that shouldn't have been there.
On Friday, Racist Kelly is back, and as she chats to Shona, Shona suggests that Aadi maybe has the hots for her and wants his hole. She goes to the shop and maybe starts to get this idea too when Aadi gives her an air fryer. That's what you do when you want your hole of someone.
Yes, you give them an air
Give
fryer
them
as a homecoming present.
A housewarming present.
Yes, a housewarming present. I can speak.
Easy for you to say.
Yes.
That's what you do. You say it with a large air fryer. Racist Kelly says that she can't accept it, refuses his help, and angrily tells him that she doesn't need his fucking help, and she storms out. This is why we don't like Racist Kellys, for things like this.
Well, it's because she's worried that he only wants her for sex, which is what Shona kind of implied. But it also kind of implied just that he has the hots for her.
That he likes her.
Right,
Somehow.
yeah. But Shona does say, like, weirdly, she's like, oh, well, you know what boys are like. They're
only
always
after one thing.
They're only after one thing, which is a weird thing to say when the boy we're talking about is Aadi.
And I suppose with Racist Kelly's history, that maybe cuts a bit deeper.
Right, yes.
Later, though, she smiles as she watches him help Fizz change a tyre,
Yes.
but not like that.
What does that mean?
I've no idea.
Okay.
In chatting with Shona again, Shona gives her a row for listening to anything that she says
But I didn't mean it like that.
and encourages her to ask Aadi out.
Yes.
Racist Kelly and Aadi. I think anybody with Aadi is probably decent.
Yeah, except for Courtney Boobs.
Courtney Boobs, yeah. You seem to be close to the we need to stop calling her racist Kelly now.
Yeah.
Kind of get that feeling from you that maybe she's now Lauren. But that angry reaction just, I know that there's a good reason for it.
Right.
And I know her history
Right.
kind of dictates her present.
Right.
But it's those sort
She's
of
not
reactions,
used to
those
nice
snipey
boys.
people, sniping at people, just makes it really difficult for me to like her
Yeah.
at all.
She's doing less of it these days, though.
But I do think...
She's getting there.
Do you think maybe we close the book on racist Kelly?
I mean, we have closed the book on Homeless Stew and The Undertaker.
Yeah.
Still not sure why we went with George for The Undertaker when it was just so funny to call him The Undertaker.
Well, it was
and
funny
then talking about him rock bottoming
Yeah,
Todd.
it's funny to put in wrestling finishing moves into the storylines. But there's a limited amount of times you can do that, I think. But maybe she is just Lauren now.
And I mean,
It's been an awful long time
Right.
since she's done a racism.
and I feel like there are people listening who may not even remember Kelly.
That too.
So
So I'm going to tentatively suggest then that we say goodbye to racist Kelly.
and just go with
and
Lauren
say
now.
hello to Lauren.
Okay, I can do that. Can you do that?
Can I? We will find out together.
And at this point, we won't have anybody with a nickname on the show.
I'm floating Dull James, which is a good dull nickname for a dull person.
I find him less dull than you do.
Well, the tough thing about it is that I just type RK in my notes as shorthand. So now I'm going to have to type out Lauren.
Yeah. Or L. I don't think there's any other
I
L.
don't want to start doing that.
We don't have any other L's in the
I
show.
have enough problems writing the right names in my notes
True.
without shortening them to initials. That's just going to be a car crash. All right. So on that bombshell, we'll move on to our penultimate storyline. It is indeed.
Yes.
It's Swain in therapy. It's Swain therapy.
Sarah Swain.
It's Swain therapy.
Sarah Swain.
Where's my button? It's Swain therapy.
Sarah Swain.
I'm not exactly sure what you're saying.
It's like Sarah Flew, only with Swain instead of flu. You know, you warm up, you put the kettle on, you take the cozy little envelope, you open it up, you dump Swain in your teacup, and then you pour hot water on her. Sarah Swain.
Swerapy.
Now, see, Swerapy seems like something that someone with Tourette's would go to.
On Thursday, Swain is fretting like a hen in a hot girdle about her upcoming therapy session. Carla has been through all this. This is old news to Carla. She's done therapy. And she thinks it'll be beneficial and it'll help Swain deal with some things. And then she'll get back to work and everything will be fine. Swain, though, remains dismissive. At work, it seems Kit knows about Swain's therapy session, which I don't think would be a thing. I think you'd keep that. That'd be secret, wouldn't it? That's nobody's business apart from your own.
Yeah, I think because he was involved in the situation that got Swain into required therapy, he knows about it. I don't think anybody told him, but I think he knows.
Or did Swain tell him?
She might have.
Yeah. Anyway, Kit's a stand-up guy and rips the piss out of her about this. At the therapy session, the therapist is enormous. It's
He's
like Kit's,
gigantic. It's
Kit's
Kit's
brother.
dad.
Oh, it's Kit's dad?
It's Kit's dad.
I was going to say brother, but...
That's who Bernie was stooping back in the 90s.
Yeah, Bernie and that giant. How the fuck does that work?
Hey, Dev is pretty tall compared to Bernie.
Everyone's the same size in bed. Or up against the wall.
Or in a field somewhere.
No.
Up against a tree.
We're reliving Helen's youth here.
You were there.
Anyway, the therapist is enormous and has a time of it getting Swain just to take a seat, never mind open up. She insists that she's fine and she refuses to talk about Tinker. I can't blame her. She thinks this is a waste of time, which is what every therapist wants to hear at the start of a session. He scribbles quite a bit in his wee book, which annoys her. He tries to talk about Betsy, which annoys her even more, as it suggests that he already knows everything about her, but he says, all I know is that her name's Betsy. I don't even know if she moans at you or whatever.
Right. Although she probably does because she's a teenager.
He wants to talk about Becky and the similarities with Tinker, and Swain has a hard time talking about that, but finally admits to how angry she is about all of that. The hour is up and Swain thinks that they're done, but the therapist points out that this is a course, so she needs to book herself a next session, otherwise Inspector Costello will hear all about this. Back at the Rovers, she tells Carla how much of a waste of time the session was, although the talk of Becky and her potential secret bentness was difficult to go through, and she doesn't know if she can ignore that. They're interrupted by Debbie, who asks Carla to withdraw her offer on number 6 on account of her dementia and Kev's testicles. Carla tells her to put in an offer on her flat instead, but Debbie has no interest in moving back to that flat. And like, Debbie's been in that flat? Was Debbie in that flat? I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Back
But
at the
she
flat,
says it's too small.
Carla-
For just her and Ronnie, and it's too small.
Yeah. Well, she wants a orangey and she wants a garden. Back at the flat, Carla has run a bath with cheese and nibbles in it, while Swain is frustrated.
And this is the second time in these 4 episodes that somebody has talked about eating while in the water.
Mm-hmm.
Because,
Tim is not allowed to eat sausage rolls in the hot tub.
right, yes. But then Sally's like, a nice charcuterie board. And I'm like, no, Sally, you do not eat anything in a hot tub or a bath. Glass of wine, acceptable. Cheese and vegetables, and especially sausage rolls, no. That's so gross.
A flaky sausage roll in a hot tub.
Who eats food in a bath? That's disgusting. So gross.
I used to love a cigarette in the bath. So relaxing.
So trashy.
Very trashy. Good times. But yeah, you have a drink in the bath. I wouldn't.
Yeah. A glass of wine.
I love a sausage roll. You know me, Helen. I
You
love,
do love a sausage roll.
But I wouldn't dream about eating
Not
a
in a
sausage
hot
roll
tub.
in a hot tub or a bath.
That's gross.
Imagine if you think that it's trashy having a cigarette in the bath, having a sausage roll in the bath. Oh my God. Having meat wrapped in pastry while you're in the bath.
Or in a hot tub, especially.
But I can imagine Sally with her little charcuterie board at the side of the hot tub and she's kind of leaning out of it as she's eating it. I don't think she's sitting with her back up against the wall in the hot tub with a floating tray or anything.
No, it's like on the side, but it could get knocked off and then all of that charcuterie board is in the hot tub with you. And then you become soup.
That's true.
Sally soup.
So, Carla has run a bath, blah, blah, blah. Swain is frustrated when she can't access Becky's case notes on her laptop, and that's as far as we get with that this week.
Doesn't she try to delete them?
I thought she was trying to open it.
Yeah, I was really confused because it looked like she right-clicked and hit the trash button, but then it said access denied, and it's like, that's weird.
Yeah, I don't think I understand what's happening in this
No.
too much.
No. I do like Swain in therapy, though. That's fun.
I like those scenes. It was very reminiscent of Department Q. Wasn't very reminiscent of it. It was a little reminiscent of it. But it was this... Maybe the thing that I liked about it is the thing that I don't like about it, is that it's kind of stock cop in therapy, dismissive of it, tries to get out of it, is threatened with your boss finding out that you're trying to get out of it, so therefore has to keep on doing it. I mean, I think Lethal Weapon. I think this is in something like that. It's in Lethal Weapon or Lethal Weapon 2. But those scenes were among my favourite of this week because it was good to see her kind of sparring a little bit. The therapist was very...
With a gigantic man. I think he's taller than Kit.
The therapist was very textbook therapist.
Yes.
Oh, it's interesting that you've gone there, or
Right.
how does that make you feel, and all that sort
But
of
also
stuff.
didn't allow her to press his buttons. Like when she's like, well, I could just sit here in silence. And he's like, yeah, you can. Sometimes quiet reflection is good.
Sometimes it's good not to talk.
Right, yeah. So, when you're ready, in your time.
And then he starts scribbling things in his notebook.
Right.
And that's very clever because that annoys her because she's wondering
What he's
are you
writing.
writing.
Yeah,
So you get him to stop writing. She has to tell him stuff, and that makes
Right.
him write even more.
right.
Yeah, I like that little bit of to and fro between the two of them. And I hope we get to see more of that.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So we've got a bit of a battle on our hands for number 6, it seems.
Yes.
Debbie and Ronnie versus Carla and Swain.
Yeah. They all are aware that moving into number 6 means they're neighbors with the Platts, right? And that there was a sinkhole.
Yeah, you've got Sally on one side, and you've got the Platts on the other side.
Yeah.
And remnants of a sinkhole.
Right, yes. And also somebody died. Adjacent,
Frogman Johnny.
well, Johnny, but also Tim's dad fell off that roof.
Tim's dad slid down the roof and
Yes.
was eaten by chickens. It was all very Silence of the Lambs.
As all
Hannibal.
violent criminals should be.
Oh, you stupid woman!
I'm being eaten by your chickens.
He did try and cook them, so
Yeah, he did cook one of them,
fair game.
which was
Oh,
very
that was
Silence of the
dreadful
Lambs.
when
Yeah.
he tells her that she's eating her favourite chicken.
Yeah. What a horrible, horrible man he was. I'm glad I booed him in Wonka. I'm glad.
Now, this was a number of years ago, and I think we would probably say that Corrie was better during those days, but it didn't seem like it at the time.
Right, because I hated that storyline.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh. If only. Because, I mean, it wasn't, that year wasn't the year of the floating gun, but I think it was the year after that was the year of the floating gun. So it may have been slightly better, but I don't think it was great.
Has it ever been great while you've been watching it?
I plead the fifth, which is what Ollie said to Sean. And Sean said, ooh, that's very American of you.
Yeah, and then they did his little spin away thing.
Right, yeah. Because he was flirting with Ollie. And Ollie
I
was
quite
flirting
liked
with
Sean
Dee
this
Dee.
week.
Wasn't that the only scene we have of Sean this
Yeah,
week?
but I thought it was good. I thought
Yeah.
it was funny.
Yeah. Ooh,
This is a
very
random
American.
little bit of Sean humour, which
Yeah.
we don't get an awful lot of.
No.
Who do you want to get number 6?
Debbie and Ronnie.
I just think it would be weird having Carla in that house.
I think Debbie interacting with Sally on one side and the Platts on the other. I feel like that would be more fun than
Yeah, I think so too.
Carla and Swain, who are not very fun. Carla used to be fun. Remember when Carla was fun?
I thought Carla was good this week.
She was good this week. But once upon a time, Carla was fun. Maybe it's because she's got the Bad Brothers liver now.
I just
Or
don't
kidney,
think-
not liver.
I just don't think the shows has been given them very much in the way of things to be fun about.
It's true.
It's been pretty dark since they got together.
It's actually, yeah, which is kind of depressing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yay, we have 2 women in a relationship. One's a lesbian and one is bisexual, and
We're just
we're
going to
not
throw
gonna-
shit at them for
right, yeah,
the foreseeable.
we're not gonna, allow them to have a fun, loving relationship. We're just gonna make them break up every other week.
But the thing that was supposed to be fun this week was their cheesy bath. But then that never happened. See, what should have happened is that Swain threw the laptop over her shoulder and sprinted into the bathroom
into the bath.
for cheese and nibbles.
Yes, but
and soapy water.
let's remember what happened the last time two gays decided to have a bath together on Coronation Street. Billy threw his back out.
He did. It required a winch.
Yeah,
If I remember.
And Ed,
Oh, Ed seen all that junk that he didn't need to see.
correct.
Michael, no! All right. Our final storyline this week is I Know What You Did Last of the Summer Wine. It's a last week.
I know what you did, Midsommar.
Ed and Maria are still worried about the whereabouts of Gary. Maria hopes that he'll be back for Liam's birthday and leaves a voicemail to this effect. Next day, Liam's having his birthday party at the bistro and wants to get wired into the booze, and he's allowed to have a pint.
I think he'd already had one, and Maria's
Yeah.
like, no, you can have one, and that's it.
There's still no word from Gary, and Maria thinks this now makes the situation far more serious. And then when she hears from Anna, who confirms that Gary left days ago and made no mention of staying with his mates, that seals it, and Maria wants to get the fuzz involved. Meanwhile, Gary's still recovering from the tanking he took from Nina, apparently, and needs emergency brain surgery. Meanwhile, unrelated to anything, Brodie is still living at Dev's and is in no mood to make amends with his mum, so Bernie gets herself involved, brings Lou over, and after a fashion, Brodie agrees to go back home, but only for the benefit of his sisters, not his mum. Aadi finally shows a set with Bernie, but stands down when he learns that Brodie is moving out anyway. Lou, though, has a new phone and is acting shifty as fuck.
Yes.
Dum dum dum.
Dum dum dum.
So Wednesday, Maria goes off to the cop shop to report Gary missing, but she finds Swain in a dismissive mood, thanks to events in another storyline. Swain is quick to jump to the conclusion that Maria would be a nightmare to live with, and no wonder Gary's done her on her. A passing Kit, though, decides to be helpful today, and he offers to look into Gary's disappearance. Apparently, there was a call from Wethy General about an unidentified ginger person in a coma.
Well, an unidentified man.
So he goes off to check that out. Back at the cafe, Sarah helps Maria log into Gary's online banking because his password, I think, is 84 Wethy County with a capital W and a capital C.
That's funny.
And they find that he hasn't used his card in weeks, and this is even more suspicious. Nina overhears all this and texts Summer to come round pronto, but Summer thinks this is all just coincidence. There was no body, and it was a hallucination. Remember? Probably should have hit that earlier. But at the hospital, Gary has been named Chesney by the staff, and it seems that he has a visitor, but we don't see who it is.
But we see her painted nails.
And I think we see our trainers later on.
Right, yes. She's wearing like nurse trainers though, so it's weird.
Very white. Kit and Maria arrive at the hospital and seem to be watched maybe by the same visitor. Kit goes off to check on the coma patient, but it's not Gary.
It is a man with brown hair.
And he breaks the news to Maria, who's disappointed her husband isn't the unnamed comatose man.
Right.
Kit says Gary will turn up eventually and finally seems interested when Maria says that Gary has enemies. And this conversation was seen by Gary's mysterious visitor who goes back to his bedside, and it's revealed to be Lou, who had a new phone last week and was shifty as fuck.
Yes. So it's Gary's phone.
Yeah.
They should, when Maria goes to say, oh, he's a missing person, this person has been missing for quite some time, he may be in danger, you'd think that they would have checked where his phone had pinged off a cellular tower and noticed that it's been going all over town and in Lou's house.
Predominantly in Lou's house.
Predominantly in Lou's house.
Signed into her Wi-Fi. Back on the street, as Kit and Maria are parting ways, she gets a text notification that Gary's card has been used at a food market in town, so Kit rushes off to investigate. Meanwhile, Lou has gone off for a shop at the food market and comes back to the hospital to talk to Gary, and she apologises. And then we see a bit of a... So that's aged so well. We see a flashback to...
Thanks, I hate it.
to what happened. Gary was in the weird part of town
with the wizard dumpster.
right, with the wizard baby, with Lou in a weird part of town.
Right.
That's what they're doing in the weird part of town together.
Well, I guess so nobody sees them.
And they argue about the blackmail scheme that was getting hatched
By Lou.
weeks ago. He tells her that he was the only one on her side, and this is how she treats him. Lou begs Gary for money, or she'll tell Maria about them having an affair, and she's got incriminating texts to prove it. Oh, do your worst, says Gary. And as he walks away, she twats Gary on the back of the head with a crowbar.
Which is conveniently in the dumpster.
And you know, Gary goes down in installments for that. It was quite impressive, I think, how he fell. She hides behind the dumpster while Nina and Summer, still tripping balls, stumble on the scene and see Gary's body, and they run a mile when he groans and reaches out for help. A bystander on holiday from Liverpool sees Gary
With his wee dog.
and calls him an ambulance.
Gary, you're an ambulance.
Back in the room, Lou tells comatose Gary that she's so sorry for everything that happened, and she didn't mean for it to turn out like this, but she can't go to prison, and no bastard cop is going to take her alive, and she has her kids to think of, but she needs to be there when he wakes up. And when she leaves the room, Gary opens his eyes.
What?
I was like, please don't open your eyes. Please don't open your eyes.
Open your eyes.
And then he opened his eyes like, oh
Open
God,
your eyes.
this is so tacky.
Open your eyes.
ASMR. On Friday, a nurse welcomes Gary back to the land of the living and tells him that his wife has been by his bedside throughout. Meanwhile, Lou drops into the salon and is shocked to see Maria on the phone to the food market, and she learns about her access to Gary's bank account given notifications.
Gulp.
She bricks herself and leaves, contemplates getting rid of Gary's card, but then doesn't. Instead, she goes to Nina's rolls, overhears Nina and Summer arguing about the body, and drops the card into Summer's bag. What a bitch.
Never have an open bag in public.
And then she calls the cops to report Gary's assault, and she thinks she knows who done it. What a double bitch.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, at the hospital, Gary's confused why everyone's calling him Chesney.
Chesney Winter Brown.
And I was just waiting for him to have amnesia at this.
Right, yeah.
And to be convinced that he is Chesney.
Because he doesn't correct the nurse right away. And so I was very worried that that's what was happening. Now, when people are admitted into the hospital in the United Kingdom, do they have to, like... I'm not quite sure I know the ins and outs of the NHS, but don't you need, like, a card with your identifying, or do they ask for any sort of identification? Ask for your birthday, how much you weigh, things like that. Things that Lou probably wouldn't know about Gary.
I think they'll ask for your birthday. I don't think they'll ask for a card. I was never asked for a card. I was never admitted to hospital, though. But when I went to
I feel like
accident and emergency, like when I cut my hand open on the broken glass, I think they just asked for my name and my date of birth, and that was it.
Okay.
I didn't have to show any ID.
I just feel like they would have been asking Gemma a lot more questions that she obviously doesn't know the answer to.
Well, yeah, and like, who's his doctor?
Right.
And stuff that they would want to get his notes, for example.
Yes, to find out if he's allergic to any sort of medications, for example. Things that Lou would not know.
Right.
When was the last time he had, like, a tetanus shot? Or updated his COVID vaccine? That sort of thing.
Has Todd taken him for an abortion lately? That sort of stuff.
It's what Todd does. He's an ally.
More than anything else, yeah. So he calls the salon, and finally Maria learns that he's alive and where he is. Chesney and Fizz are in the salon too at this point, which I thought might become important, but I don't think it really does.
Yeah, because it's really funny that, look, see, there's Chesney. That's not Chesney. This is Chesney. We finally see Chesney and Fizz, who we haven't seen in a long time. We get to see Fizz twice this week.
Yeah, and
nice.
once with a flat tire, but not like that.
Yeah.
As Maria goes out, Lou comes in and bricks herself for the second time today when she learns the developments. Back at the cafe, Nina and Summer get separate calls from the filth wanting them to come into the station.
And it's hilarious. They're different dial tones.
Yeah. At the hospital, do you know, I've been watching a lot of Hot Ones today.
You have.
And I watched the Bill Murray one. And at one point, his phone alarm goes off. And it's the textbook standard Apple.
Yeah.
It's my alarm clock, basically, that's described as an old man alarm. Because it's like you haven't been bothered to change it from the default one.
Right.
And Bill Murray's like, that's my alarm to remind me to come on this show. Hot Ones is great.
Hot Ones is great.
The Dakota Johnson one's pretty good as well. Now,
haven't
what's
seen
my
that one.
relationship with Dakota Johnson? I like her, but she's a terrible actress.
Right.
She's really good on the Hot Ones as well.
She's your Keanu Reeves.
When Sean says to her, because he's been eating the wings, because it's
Right.
all about eating increasingly hot wings.
Right. Well, answering questions about your career and
Yeah.
life and stuff.
A super show. He's been eating the spicy one and she's impressed, and he says, I'm no superhero. And she says, neither am I. I tried and I failed.
Yep.
And it was just a lovely bit of self-awareness from her. I think she came across super on it. I like her. She still can't act.
Right. Which is funny because her character in Materialist says, I can't act.
And Celine Song used to be a matchmaker.
Interesting. I didn't know that part.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. Not in New York, though. Was she
I don't know the finer points of it. At the hospital, Maria and Gary are reunited, and he wastes no time in telling her that everyone's been calling him Chesney, and apparently Maria's been visiting every day, which is news to Maria.
Yeah.
And all this makes me wonder how Maria managed to find him in the hospital, because she's going to be going and saying, I'm
Gary
looking for
Windass.
Gary. But everyone knows him as Chesney.
Right. He must have told her the room number on the phone. That's
How-
all I can think of.
Would he know his room number?
Yes.
Because his room number's on the other side of the door.
Well, it's on the window part of the door, and
Is
it's probably written somewhere in the room as well.
Then Gary produces a number that the nurses have for his supposed wife, and when Maria checks it, she's furious to discover that it's Lou's. So when he came round, why didn't the nurses phone that number?
I don't know. Kiss plot. Maybe they did. Maybe they did. And that was when she had Gary's phone, not her phone. Walking around with two phones.
I don't think the storyline has room for maybes.
The whole storyline is a big fat maybe. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be.
But it is.
And it's a bad execution of the storyline when there's so many holes in it. And I said on Twitter today that I think years ago it was unfair to compare Coronation Street to a police procedural or a medical procedural because it wasn't either one of those things. So you don't expect 100% medical accuracy and you don't expect 100% police accuracy, because that's not what the show's about. The show's about
relationships.
that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Right? But these days, when everything becomes a police procedural,
Or a
when
hospital
everything
story.
has to go to the hospital, you need to get these things right,
Yeah.
because you can't now say that it's not a police procedural and it's not a medical procedural, because half of the show's set in the police station or the hospital.
Right.
So when they get things like this wrong, or there's these gaps, and it feels like it matters more to get this right now.
Yes.
And so when they don't do it right, it's like, well, wait a minute, you're fucking up your story here. The storyline has been fucked up by the way that the Chesney thing and the phone number thing and the room thing and everything else that is just not making sense.
Right.
And then there's something else that's going to happen later on that doesn't make sense. But you need to get these right. These need to be better done.
Yes.
So, Maria secretly calls David to get him to keep Lou at the salon, which he manages to do just as Maria comes storming in. I'm expecting a cat fight. We don't get a cat fight. Somebody needs to slap somebody.
No, I'm glad that we don't do that anymore. It's good that we don't do that anymore.
Lou, of course, denies everything but refuses to go to the hospital to prove that she's not the person that's been coming into the hospital. And David accuses her of attacking Gary in the first place, which She reacts so badly to it, she denies it. Maria's about to call the filth when Lou throws Nina and Summer under the bus. Meanwhile, outside the police station, Summer discovers that she's been carrying Gary's bank card about in her bag. Nina thinks that she must have taken it from Gary, but Summer has a different bag than the one that she had that night, and she didn't go anywhere near the body that she and Nina hallucinated.
Right.
But Nina isn't buying it and goes into the station where Kit decides to interview them both under caution separately. But as he's talking to the pair of them, Nina, she's not sticking to the story, and she's continually throwing someone under the bus.
And they produce the card, and
Yeah, Nina says it was in Summer's bag.
right.
And Summer's like, what the fuck?
Well, it wasn't her bag, but then Kit rightly says, so if we test this for fingerprints, will we find your fingerprints on it? And Nina says, yes, you'll find mine because I picked it up and put it in her bag. And Summer says, no, you won't find mine on it because I've never touched it before. And Kit's like, well, we'll just see about that. And then it goes away, and we don't know whether or not that card has been tested. We assume that it's been tested when things happen after this.
Oh, I don't assume it's been tested. But anyway, we'll get to it.
Anyway.
Back at the salon, somehow Maria thinks Nina and Summer are just as likely suspects as Lou, and David thinks Lou would have to be pretty fucking stupid to give her own number. Lou thinks it was Summer and Nina who must have went to the food market, and this is her fatal mistake because Maria is now sus as fuck because she never mentioned the food market, and so she must secretly call the cops who arrive just as Lou's trying to sneak out. At the station, Lou begs Kit for help, but he sticks to the book and gets in touch with social services to take care of her kids. They're with Sally though, it'll be fine. All of this seems to be sufficient though for Nina and Summer to be released.
Right.
And this annoyed the fuck out of me.
This is why I'm assuming that they did test the card and it didn't have any of Summer's prints, but it did have Lou's prints on it.
Well, if they did do that, they absolutely need to say so.
Right.
And
they
because the
don't.
fact that they didn't say so, I'm assuming we've got Lou now for this thing that we don't know for certain if she did it. We're going to let these two kids go now.
Right.
Because we're not sure if they did it.
Yeah. They don't look the type.
They went from having 2 people in the frame to having 3 people in the frame, and they should have kept all 3 of them in for questioning. But
Yeah.
Nina and Summer are off the hook.
It kind of feels like Nina and Summer were sufficiently convincing.
It was dreadfully done.
It was dreadfully done. It is also kind of dreadful because, like, when they talked about what happened, they said that the person had kind of lunged at them and Nina just pushed them away.
It sounded like the person was
Right.
making an inappropriate
Right.
movement towards Nina.
He was on the ground.
Yeah.
And she's the one who turned him over and said, help me. And Gary says, help me. And they don't help him. They run away.
Yeah, nobody lunged at her.
No. He just said, help me.
But that could be the drugs.
Yeah.
That's more believable than an awful lot of this.
Right.
But Summer once again is fucking sick of Nina throwing her under the bus, so dumps her as a friend. And rightly so. Back at the hospital, Maria wonders why Lou and Gary were able to meet up at that random street, but Gary doesn't remember anything. But does he look like he does? I was waiting for another flashback and we didn't get one.
No.
At Sally's, she's looking after the girls and Brody. He calls Mick's bum phone and tells him about Lou getting arrested. Mick says that he'll need Brody's help because something's about to go down tomorrow. And that's how we end this week's episodes.
And I really mean dum. Brody's, and Sally's like, I can make a bed for you here. And he's like, oh no, I'm going to go back to the house. But first I'm going to call the guy that isn't actually my dad in prison and conspire with him to do something very naughty next week.
We're looking at yet another prison break.
Which is stupid.
It's been 6 months since the last prison break.
Has it even been that long?
And yeah, I think it was February, wasn't it? I think it was February. We had prison riot, then we had prison break, and now we're going to have another prison break.
Yeah, how did he break out of... he broke out of prison because they were taking him to the hospital.
Yeah.
What are they going to do with Mick? How is Mick going to escape that prison And that prison cell where he's in, a prison cell with bars and everything. How's he going to get out of there?
Who's he going to give a kidney to?
Yeah, so I'm so confused as to how exactly he's going to escape prison when he doesn't have any sort of medical emergencies.
And he's quite stupid.
He's quite stupid, and he's not sleeping with one of the guards.
Maybe he's got that same prison guard up the duff.
I don't think
What
that's
happened to
possible.
her? She just disappeared
She
after
just
that.
disappeared into the ether. What happened to Carla's brother? He went back to prison, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. They did eventually catch him. And he didn't die, which is so fucking frustrating.
Yeah, he just moaned and groaned an awful lot in number
Right.
one, and then didn't get shot.
And then internal bleeding, he was fine. He was able to walk with internal bleeding, minus a kidney.
Yeah, he'd been walking about for weeks.
And
sleeping rough.
And sleeping rough when his immune system is like nothing at the moment. Oh my God.
Anyway, we've complained about that storyline enough at the time. We need to complain about this storyline now.
Well, I'm complaining about that storyline to show how stupid this storyline in particular is. Who do you think Mick is going to kill?
Oh, is he going to kill somebody?
I'm just assuming. What else is he good for?
Is war? Hooah!
It's like, is he gonna kill Lou? Is he
I'm
gonna?
still not sure why he's going to be breaking out.
Right.
I mean, I assume he's breaking out. I assume that's what the thing that's going to go down
Right.
is.
Yeah. And why is it Lou getting arrested for nearly killing Gary? Why is that the thing that's he's like, right, I need to break out of this prison now?
Yeah, it suggests that he could break out whenever he wanted.
Right. It's weird.
I was hoping that we'd seen the last of him.
Yeah, me too.
Kudos, I guess, because I reckoned that we were going in a direction of someone's going to kill Mick because everyone hates him, and we were looking at a summer whodunit. We did end up with a summer whodunit, but it was far stupider than I could have imagined.
And it involved Summer possibly being the one who done it.
Right. This just felt so rushed, and I don't know that all the chess pieces were in the right place for doing this. And there's a few times that the show's pulled this recently where the cops just arrive in the nick of time to arrest someone because this conversation's over. This conversation's over, and then the police come in. Evening all, arrest someone, and that's that.
Hello. What's all this? We were just standing by the door, just waiting for the password.
Yeah. I'm glad that Gary and Maria seem to be back together and
Right, yeah.
and on better terms than they were when he left.
Yes.
I do need to know why they were both in that part of town and what brought the two of them there and what were the events that happened that led up to that.
And what was in the bag? Because Gary brings a bag that Lou takes. I'm very curious as to what was in there.
Nina and Summer's relationship seems to be over. I'm not too sure that I'd bother too much about that.
Right, yeah. It's just a friendship.
And it's
They'll be talking to each other like next week.
exactly. David had a few good lines in the salon as he was dealing with customers and trying to keep Lou from leaving via the pay packet and the biscuits. He really enjoyed the biscuits. They were triple chocolate. That was a nice little throwaway.
Yes.
But yeah, that's about it, I guess.
About it.
That was the week that was Coronation Street. Helen, tell me, what was your moment of the week?
What was your moment of the week?
Was it Swerapy?
Sure, let's give it to Thera.
I still don't know what you're saying.
Thera?
Thera.
Swain.
Thera Swain, that doesn't make sense. That's not a portmanteau.
Yes, therapy and Swain. Thera Swain.
It's not a portmanteau if you put the full second word in.
Thera Swain. Because it's like Theraflu. Theraflu is also not one because flu is a full word as well.
I don't know what Theraflu is.
You've drunk it before. I make it for you every time you're sick. It's that orangey hot liquid stuff.
Oh, I love that.
You do.
It's so good. It's like a lime sip, but orange.
Yes. And it
Love
works,
a lime sip.
and it works so well.
Do we get lime sip here?
that We have Theraflu.
Is there lemon Theraflu?
I'm sure there is. I could also just like heat up hot water with lemon.
Oh, do you know? Do that. Anyway, Swerapy. That's our
Moment of the week.
Those were good scenes.
Yeah. And there wasn't much good this
And there
week.
wasn't much else.
And yet, you want to do boring moment of the week?
I do want to do boring moment of the week.
You want to wait until the sirens are over?
No. No, sirens are still going, but I don't think we can hear them anymore.
Okay.
So, boring moment of the week.
Swain's swivel chair.
Oh, I wouldn't move.
And she kept talking about it. And she wouldn't shut up about it.
She did go on about it. This might be the first time that the same character has got moment and boring moment of the week.
Yes.
That's Swain for you.
That is Swain for you.
What a gal.
Boring moment of the week.
Yay!
All right, we are on to the yay meh zzz section of the podcast. This is where I take to Twitter to ask our followers to rank this week's offerings. Just a couple of episodes this week, but the voting went down this way. Yay was 36.1%, meh 28.9%, and zzz 35.1%, so fairly evenly split. Holly says, thought it was a poor week in general, but I enjoy the bit they've got going where Shona calls racist Kelly's son Francois. Long may this continue, as it's very amusing. I like that as well.
Didn't she say Ferdinand the first time and then Francois?
I can't remember.
Next week it'll be Franklin.
Sharon Emo says, the writing was appalling this week, especially tonight. The scoping of the script ideas is fine, quite good plot ideas, but the writing, direction and execution absolutely useless. Have Corrie taken on some YTS trainee script writers at Media City? Oh, so very harsh, Sharon Nemo. I don't know if it's the writing or if it's the plotting, because everyone that's writing on the show
Why not both?
has proved to be a good writer, I think. And Law says, last night's was a genuine contender for one of the worst episodes yet. Tonight's had some good points and felt it had more purpose. I like David and Shona tonight too. One thing I don't understand is the inconsistency in quality from one episode to the next. But we don't let those scores and those opinions sway our scores for the week. So, not a score for this week, Helen, but a score for this week and last week.
3.
Yeah, I'm struggling to give it anything more than that.
Yeah.
I really
It
think
sucked.
so many of the storylines sucked. And the execution of the others left an awful lot to be desired. I think I'm going for a 3 also. Alright, time to wrap this one up then. This episode was brought to you with thanks to our friends of the podcast. Daisy, French Helen, Pickles, DT, Wendy, Noel, Canadian Helen, Christy, Shandy, English Victoria, Aurora Yvonne, Heather Westerfield, Russell Whiting, Jackie B, Brittany Porter, Laurie Anna, Tina, Stephen, Leah, Tara J, Fiona B, Canadian Jennifer and Josephina Tingy. Thank you very much, folks. We very much appreciate it. If you've ever seen a more muddled reveal of a whodunit, write in to tell us about it. We're the Talk of the Street at gmail.com. We're at Corrie Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Threads and Blue Sky, or you can reach us the old-fashioned way, the Talk of the Street, P.O. Box 12, Eaton Rapids, Michigan, 48827. You can shout me and Helen a coffee or become a friend of the podcast by heading to ko-fi.com, that's ko-fi.com/the Talk of the Street, or patreon.com/the Talk of the Street. Check out voggle.co.uk for links to a merch store, YouTube channel and blog. And if you're so inclined, please leave a rating and a review on iTunes or your podcast provider of choice. And be sure to check out our pop culture sister podcast, The List of Lists.
People will never be bored of dinosaurs.
Thanks for making it to the end of another episode, and we will be back next week with more
I'll talk of the street.
Stop the street.
Bye.